I'm Margaret Martin, physical therapist, strength and conditioning specialist, and yoga instructor. And I have developed 3 exercise programs for you to follow. Those exercise programs include a warm-up, balance and agility, some strength, and some wonderful stretching at the end of each day. So I encourage you, before you begin, to check with your medical professional, make sure that you have the green light to start an exercise program. Always better to be safe than sorry. Now, if you're brand new to exercise, you often hear people say, listen to your body. Well, sometimes my new clients listen to their bodies too much, and they go, but it doesn't feel comfortable. Well, if you've never exercised, it is going to feel new, and sometimes you're going to be sore the day after or a few days after. But that soreness is a muscle soreness that will go away. So you don't want to be experiencing any pain during. You might feel quivering of your muscles. You might feel, wow, this is hard, that you're breathing a little harder. But those are all natural things that come with exercise. So do be mindful of that. If you have a pain that's unusual, check with your healthcare professional, but don't discourage easily. I do encourage you to take it little steps at a time and stick with it so that you can build stronger bones and a stronger body. Now, throughout the videos, I talk about the breath, and I encourage you to take full deep breaths. I want you to visualize the top of my hand as the diaphragm and the bottom of my hand being the pelvic floor. And so with every breath, you're taking a full breath in, your diaphragm is coming down, pressing on your organs, that energy goes down to your pelvic floor. As you exhale, what should happen naturally with a healthy pelvic floor is it gently contracts back up. So throughout the program, I want you to try to follow my cueing on the breathing. When you need more stability, more support, to engage your pelvic floor. So for women, this is as though you're gently squeezing around a tampon. For men, it's as though you're gently pulling up on the scrotum as though you're walking into cold water. And so involving your pelvic floor in your exercise program helps to prevent such things as incontinence. And we're going to start with our warm-up, thinking about our posture, standing nice and tall throughout. We're going to begin with our marching. When you're marching, I want opposite arm and leg and knees pointing straight ahead. Good. Move from the shoulder, moving from the hip and knee. Good. Reaching just a little higher with each step. Good. Almost done our marching, and we're going to take it to open, close, open, close. External rotation of the hip and shoulder, so your elbow stays tucked into your side. Good. Let's switch it to the other side. Open, close. Your knee is following your foot. Your hand is following the forearm with the elbow staying into your side. Good. And 2 more. Great. Now butt kicks, reaching back. So tapping your hand, reaching on the opposite. Reach just above shoulder height. Reach and up. Good. Keep your breath comfortable and easy. If you're finding that you're getting a little out of breath, just slow things down. Make it a little softer movement. And now we're going to press back, opposite arm and leg. Good. Pressing, full press and press. Good. You can just go back to an easy march at any time. We're going to be repeating this whole cycle once more. So if you're just catching up, that's quite okay. We're going to go through it one more time. Good. Marching. This time, just let's reach just a little bit higher, elbows above the height of the shoulders. reaching right up high. Good, remember to keep those knees straight ahead. It's always great if you have access to a mirror so you can look at your form. And just 2 more. And let's take it into that out and in, out and in. Good, keeping the elbow tucked into your side. Because if you go out like this, it's a whole other motion. It's not so much your shoulder external rotators, and that's what I want you to warm up. That's it. And you want to feel the squeeze of your shoulder blade. Other side. Good. And let's just go for 4 more. Good. And switch it, kicking back. Reach and kick. Good. Let's see if we can reach just a little bit higher. Kicking back a little bit closer to your butt each time. This is a nice way to stretch your quadriceps dynamically. So your quadriceps are the front of your thighs. Good. Everybody has the need to stretch them a little bit more. And 1 more on our warm-up is pressing back. Good. That's it. Almost done through the warm-up. Forward and back. Opposite hand, opposite leg. And 2 more. Last one on each. Guys, we're going to bend from the hips, so flat back, arms are down. Inhale. Exhale, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Keep your elbows soft. A lot of clients that like to hyperextend, throw their elbows back, but then you lose all that great work for your triceps. So keeping those elbows soft, you get added work for your tricep muscles, which we all like to have. Nice firm triceps. Good. Gaze is slightly forward. And 1 more, squeezing back. Good. Much more important that you have happy joints, for one, that as you're doing your step up, that your knees are not complaining, and that the quality of your motion is very good, so that your knees are pointing over your second toes. Often with clients, if they progress their step up too fast, I will see their knees cave in, like I just kind of demonstrated there. You'll see a cave in, and that's not a good thing. So you really want to keep the outer rotators in your deep hip muscles working well and helping you keep your knee over your toe. And we're going to switch to the other side. And again, remembering to stomp down. Review and make sure you got that tracking happening. Now, a lot of my clients will also tend to want to look down and see what's happening with their knee, but better that you have a mirror in front of you. Good. Really work through opposite foot and hand coming forward together. And step-ups will make your hiking life so much more pleasant. And 1 more. Good. Give yourself a moment before we enter our set number 2. So we're going to move right into our second group of exercises in strengthening. So beginning with a reverse lunge. Hands on your pelvis, nice and tall through your posture. Reverse lunges are a little more gentle than forward lunges. Breath in, exhale. ear, shoulder, hip, and knee in a straight line. Now purposely place the line so that you can see the distance between my feet. And so when you go into a reverse lunge or a forward lunge, as we'll be doing, you want to have enough distance between your feet that you feel stable. As you get more comfortable with your lunges, you could make your lunges more narrow. But to start out, keeping them a nice distance, which is usually hip width apart. Good, one more. And let's take it to the opposite side. Lunges is one of those exercises that really appreciate the quad rolling before. So nice that we did that as part of our warm-up. Remembering to exhale through, each time being mindful of your pelvic floor. The little blow will help to get that working for you. Keeping your chest high, shoulders back, and one more. Great. If your arm pullbacks felt like the correct intensity for you, then go back to the arm pullbacks. Otherwise, here we're going to challenge our back muscles by first step, keeping our heels about 6 to 8 inches from the wall. Our back is going to be a hand's width from the wall, so if you need to put a little towel there, do so. Okay, but you're going to keep that space. You're going to open up the arms so that your forearms are resting as close to or on the wall. And then we're going to slide it slightly down and slide up and up and up as far as you can while keeping your forearms in contact and wrists in contact with the wall. Slide back down and back up. So here you're engaging the muscles of your core by not allowing yourself to arch your back. You want to ensure that you're setting your ribs in place, engaging your abdominals. Good. By just keeping that space in the small of your back. That's the width of your hand. Good. So just a couple of more. These are tough exercises. Kind of sometimes the ones that where you move the least are the hardest. And let's do that once more, so we slide right up. Good, and back. Well done. Good, ready to go into our second grouping of exercises for today. All right, moving into our second group of exercises for day 2 strength. We're going to be focusing on hips, triceps, and abdominals. So coming down onto your side, we're going to start with an exercise referred to as a clam. Your feet are going to be resting one on top of the other with the top leg slightly forward so that your bottom foot is the anchor for your top one. Head is back and in line with your body. This free hand, which has gloves by the way for triceps after, is going to be choice 1 is resting on your pelvis to make sure that you're staying nice and stable, which reminds me to remind you to place a roll underneath your waist to fill in the small of your waist right here. Good, so you have more stability. Good. And this hand, option 2 from your pelvis, is to just rest it onto the ground in front of you. Very important in doing your clams is not to rock your pelvis back. Inhale, exhale, knee towards the sky. The clams is an exercise that really helps you to develop the strength in your deep hip rotators, which are deep underneath your gluteal muscles, your buttock muscles. And by doing so really helps in keeping your knee in alignment with your squats, your lunges, your step-ups. So it's a really important exercise. Now, if you're finding it difficult to get full range of motion, you know you can go higher that if somebody helped you, but that you're having a hard time getting there yourself, then you can take a second cushion and you can place it between your knees so you get like a little booster that helps you get up. Good. And so let's do 3 more. Good. And last one. Good. Now only use that cushion until you can graduate from it. Now we're going to roll onto our backs. I'm going to take the cushion away from my head. If you find that your head is reaching back like this, you might choose to put a little towel under your head. But try to avoid doing your exercises with a whole big pillow. Now, that needed to roll back to get the weight, okay? Bringing it to your chest. We're going to hold the faces of the weight with each hand. Good. Feet and knees are hip width apart. Bring the weight up over your eyes. So this is the reason for the gloves, to make sure you have a nice grip on the weight. It's always good to have someone standing by, ensuring that you can keep this weight safely in your hands the very first time you do it if you're at all uncertain. Okay? Work with your breath as you slowly lower the weight behind your head and then back up to the sky. Good. By starting with one weight between both hands, you're allowing your shoulders to support one another. And this is great when we're beginning, but eventually we want each shoulder to show its own independence and strength. But stick with double arm triceps, shared weight like this, until you feel very secure that you can progress. So let's do 2 more. Now that little support in the small of my back is reminding me to keep my abdominals engaged and in contact with that support. Good, bring the weight down. We're going to roll onto the opposite side now to do clams on that side. So bring the pillow back to rest under your head, repositioning the support at your waist. Repositioning your feet so that your top foot is stacked right over the top of the bottom one and slightly in front of. Good. Take a breath. Exhale as you come up. If you find that you would benefit from using the cushion, once again, please use it between your knees. By using it, you will find that eventually you will be able to wean yourself from the pillow. So if you find that you need to use the pillow to support you to get your full range of motion in your clam for your full set, well, the next time you might only need it for 3/4 of your set and eventually half your set. You exhale and lift. So remember to breathe in as you're coming down, blow as you go up. Inhale down and nice set. Good. Let's roll onto our backs one more time for a little harder version of abdominals. So nice breath. This time as you exhale, keeping everything tight. Knee up. Foot comes down towards the ground, keeping everything tight as you lower your foot, because that's when the loading is at its greatest. Good. Now you can do this motion without any regard to your abdominals, but then you're not helping them either. Good. Let's switch feet. And if this intensity feels right, you can stick with this intensity, and I'll show you one more version that you can make things a little bit harder. Good. A step up from this, when you're ready, is going to be both legs up, keeping in contact, and then slowly lowering one foot towards the ground. And once again, the whole time you're keeping your deepest abdominal muscles, your transverse abdominis, strongly engaged. So you're creating that corset, but never do it without regard to your pelvic floor. So always initiate with your breath, the gentle tightening of your pelvic floor that then works with your transverse abdominis. Lower down. Beautiful. Whew, done our strength exercises. So let's go right into our flexibility or stretch. And since we did such great work on our hips and our chest today, that's where we're going to focus our stretches. Many of you might have heard of a figure 4 stretch. You're going to take your right foot, cross it over top of the left. Of course, I've just done the opposite, which is great for camera or with classes. So one ankle over the opposite knee. And we're going to take the hands and we're going to reach into the space between your feet and around, between your legs and around the outside. Tuck your shoulder blades back. Think long through the back of your neck. Keep your sacrum in contact with the floor. And let's enjoy 3 more full deep breaths here. Good. And when you're releasing, keep your abdominals engaged. So you're teaching your body to use it, not just when you're doing your exercises, your pure abdominal exercises, but throughout everything. So as we switch over, figure 4, on the opposite side, hands between your legs, inhale, exhale, engage your abdominals as you lift your leg up, grasp around the thigh, tuck your shoulder blades back down into the mat, think long through the back of your neck, and then relax through 3 more full deep breaths. Feel that nice stretch in through the hip and around through the butt. Release one foot, then the other to the earth. Now, long blanket that you rolled up and taped if you have, or if you own a half foam roller, very nice. I'm going to roll away from you, place this in the small of the middle of the mat, so that blanket at one end is up to the height of my head, other end is past my tailbone. Good. So you tuck it up against your body and you're going to roll onto it. So your whole spine, center, right down the center of your head, whole spine, right through the center of your sacrum, is resting on the blanket. That extra little height is there to allow you to open up your chest wall just a little bit more. Now, if you are not in the habit of stretching your chest wall and you find this too aggressive, you might find that just lying like this with arms by your side is plenty. And then you graduate eventually to using a rolled blanket or even a half foam, and then maybe even a full foam. These are all ways to just get a little bit more stretch. Now, if you're lying here and you're feeling pins and needles or tingling in your arms, then you can take the cushions and place them underneath your forearm. So I'll just show you on this side here. But by placing, if you had a cushion on each side or a rolled blanket, that would allow you to start opening things up without putting too much stress on the brachial plexus, the nerves going down into your arms.